You're watching the DoubleACS Daily News. On January 4th, Attleboro lost a person who was dedicated to improving the community and sharing his knowledge and love of animals. Bob Bamberg passed away last Friday after a battle with cancer. He was the owner of the Old Barn, a pet supply store near the center of the city, and he shared his extensive knowledge of animals in various ways, either through his column on the Sun Chronicle, at Capron Park Zoo, or here on WARA. Bob was involved in a number of community organizations including New Hope, United Way, and he was also on the board of DoubleACS. We interviewed him back in 2011 right before the demolition of the Old Barn.
My name is Bob Bamberg, and my wife Susan and I have owned Attleboro's Old Barn since 2003. The store's actually been here since 1941. It opened up then as Conlin and Donnelly, and they became the biggest blue seal dealer in New England. They had a huge business going, because back then you had a lot of active farms. Things changed in the 60s and 70s. You know, some of the farms started to dwindle. They focused more on pet and lawn and garden and wild bird, and it went that way until the late 80s when they went bankrupt. They went out of business, and the building sat fallow for a couple of years. And then a man bought it and resurrected the business as Attleboro's Old Barn. And he kept it till 1996, and then he sold it to a woman who we bought it from in 2003. And of course, we focused more on the pet, the wild bird, the lawn and garden. And all the farms around here are just hobby farms now. And with the economy the way it is, a lot of people have given up their livestock. Everything we had was very carefully selected. We just didn't bring something in because we thought we could sell it. We brought it in because we thought it was good for the animals and good for the customer. A lot of the local shelters have had bake sales here and yard sales here, using our front parking lot. We've hosted signs. In fact, the Attleboro Animal Shelter just removed one of their signs for their Oktoberfest. We've donated gift cards for the various fundraisers that they have, not just for Attleboro, but for North Attleboro and some of the area shelters as well. We enjoy participating. A lot of the volunteers came here as customers, and this was our way of not only paying back the community, but paying back the volunteers who came here as customers. I started encouraging people to bring in pictures of their pets, and we hung them up on the board back there, and that just grew over the years. Just in the past couple of weeks, as we've been winding down, customers coming in to say goodbye have told us what an impact we had on their lives. We helped them so much with their pet problems, behavioral issues or nutritional issues, their lawn and garden problems, wildlife in the backyard, problems with rabbits in the garden, that type of thing. And we just did it. I mean, we learned the science, and we preached the science, and we practiced the science. And that's what helped the customers out, and it made a big impact on them, more than I even realized. So much of what we sell is non-essential. And we're selling a ton of food, but you really don't make the margin on the food. It's a commodity, but the food is the hook that keeps the customer coming back into the store on a regular basis, and you hope that when they come in, they buy other things. And that was the way it was. They'd buy a bag of food, but they'd spend more money on toys or treats, or they'd buy a bag of birdseed or another bird feeder, or they'd buy a new collar, that type of thing. And they just aren't doing that. We grew beautifully from '03 to '08, and then that fourth quarter of '08 was when we saw the first dip. And of course, back then we all just thought it was a bump in the road. No one expected the recession to get this deep and to last this long. And as unemployment increased, customers were laid off or had their hours cut, health insurance costs going up, grocery costs, heating oil going up. All these things took priority, and they started just buying the essentials. And we saw the decline. We've declined every year since that fourth quarter of '08. To the point now where we just couldn't continue. I want people to remember us for being accurate and for being fair. We wouldn't sell somebody something they didn't need. There were many times when somebody would go to buy something and say, geez, you don't need that. I mean, you can buy it if you want, I'll sell you anything you want, but you really don't need it. And people respected us, I think, for that. Rather than just going after the quick buck, we really focused on customer service. I mean, we get to know people by name. I've got young adults coming in with their toddlers now who were preteens when I first started working here. I've watched families grow. I've seen the kids go from preschoolers up into college, and that's something I'll always treasure. It's been a great run, and I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the friendships that we've made. I've enjoyed helping people, and I've learned a lot from my customers, and I treasured the friendships.